Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Munya Maraire, the CEO of Worldwide Scholarships. It is a pleasure to have you all here with us for the Meet the Scouts presentation. It's going to be a great time for you to be able to send some of your questions through and for you to be able to also just kind of hear from us and see who's going to be participating. Some of our guests will not be joining us live, but have sent in videos for you just to greet you. We are not going to obviously open up the whole session to everybody to speak. Otherwise, it would be pretty crazy because we're expecting over 100 people on this today. So again, the reason why you're here is we are hosting the Worldwide Scholarships WWS Scoutcamp from the 16th to the 18th of December. And what we're going to be doing is basically scouting talent. Our organization has been around for over 18 years now, linking talent across the continent of Africa with opportunities. And we are looking to see that you yourselves get opportunities as well that you deserve. I can tell you now, and if there are parents that are there, not everyone is going to make this. But we are excited that you have taken the opportunity, you've invested in yourself, and that you're going for your dream. And as Worldwide Scholarships, we have put together the best scouts in the world and the best opportunities in the world, and we're bringing them to you. And you're going to have the opportunity to showcase yourself and to do what you need to do. So you really need to get yourself ready mentally, because this is not a game. This is real, and there are real awesome opportunities that are out there for you. Tonight, you're going to speak to Mr. Jesse Wright. Jesse is a phenomenal addition to our program. Jesse has worked as the president of the NBA's sports performance. He's also been the person that ran the actual NBA combine last year. So this is for the basketball people. Can you imagine that? The person who ran the actual NBA draft is going to be looking at you. So you need to bring your A game. I mean, this is what it is. In football, we've got Paolo Gatti and his team that represent Lombardia Uno, which is direct contact with the AC Milan Academy. So for the soccer players, you need to bring your game. This is your opportunity right now to showcase what you can do, and there's nobody standing between you and opportunity. We're also going to be joined by the eyes of the United States universities. So for some of you, the opportunity to go to university and earn scholarship opportunities is right there in your face, and something that is accessible for you. Now we speak about American football. This is for the rugby players. The rugby players, guys, you have got a lifetime of an opportunity here. Not only do you have rugby opportunities, but also we've got the Rich Gardner, who's here, a former NFL player himself, went to college himself, got drafted himself, played the game. I played with him at Penn State, and he has got access through his organization that they're running in the United States to link you with opportunities, not only in rugby through us, but also American football at the high school and at the university level. So this to us it's great. And I'm going to hand over now to Jesse. Jesse is going to take us through the protocols of what kind of testing is going to be done, because I'm sure some of you are like, hey, wow, what am I going to be doing? What's going to be tested, etc. So we're gonna hand over now to Jesse.
Thank you, Munya. Huge gratitude and appreciation to you and everyone on this call for allowing me to be a part of this. Fairly new to the organization, literally just within the last month or so. And I can't say it enough. Rich and I actually had a call this morning. The people associated with this organization, that's been probably the most welcome factor for all of this, is all the people that we've spoken to in these last couple of weeks and planning the event since I was asked to come on board really top-notch people associated with planning this thing, and I think that's a very good indication of how great this event is going to be, and I'm very much looking forward to it and thankful that I've gotten a chance to be a part of it with everyone. So just a quick introduction a little bit about the concept of where my role and Rich would come in with respect to the testing, right? The assessment piece. And we can use the NBA Combine as a kind of a case example. As Munya said, I have been involved. I've worked in the NBA for the last 14 years with the Philadelphia 76ers. And through that role was involved with the league level with the NBA Combine. Not the actual director that ran the whole thing, right? I'm not nearly capable of doing that whole big thing. But what I did do was chair a committee that organized all of the performance testing, all of the measurements and performance testing. It was a team of NBA strength and conditioning coaches that I led, and we all kind of planned it together and everything. And so to understand that and to use that as a kind of an example, that there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into how the NBA or the NFL or soccer organizations or anything. There's a whole bunch of factors that go into how they would assess you guys as athletes. One piece is the performance testing for sure. And when I say that, that's your speed, it's your multi-directional quickness, it's your strength, it's your power. That's all the physical stuff that we're going to look at when you during the camp for sure. And then there's measurables, right? Your height, weight, your body composition, your wingspan, all of that stuff, kind of, your profile in terms of your build. But there's a whole other factor that goes on at an event like an NBA Combine in the scouting camp as well. And one of them obviously is the skills of the sport, right? So for basketball, while we're doing all of the performance testing on one court in the facility where it was held, there's 2 other courts of basketball skill assessment going on, right? Guys in shooting and ball handling and dribbling and passing and 5-on-5 drills and different ways that the entire NBA that's in the gym is looking and assessing these guys relative to their actual basketball skill. And then there's interviews going on back in the hotels, right? One-on-one interviews, and general managers and scouts are asking the athletes questions to get indications of the type of human being that you are. Do you look people in the eye when you speak? Do you shake hands? Are you able to communicate well? Everything that they would want indication of to what type of person you are and if you would be a good fit for their organization. And that doesn't have much to do with basketball or your athleticism. It has to do with the human being that you are. Right. And all of that, put all that together in addition to some other small things, your medical, right? Your medical history is a big one. Injury history, all of that stuff factors into whether or not an organization, whether it's a pro team or a university, would want to select you and add you to their team. And those are big deals. Some of those things are within your guys' control for sure. Some of them are not, right? You can't change your wingspan right now. You can't change your height. But you can certainly alter how you speak to somebody in an interview, right? And you can certainly portray yourself well. And please understand that those are big components to this. And as I understand it, that's what this scout camp is all about, to learn all of those things about you guys and hopefully use all that information to pass, to give you guys an opportunity to go and realize your dreams and everything. So that's just a little background with respect to profiling. What do we want to see when you come to this camp? I'm just going to take the basketball and the soccer portion to let you guys see the battery of tests that we're going to look at to give you guys a little chance to prepare and have a chance to know what it is you're going to be asked to do when you get out there next week. Can everybody see this?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So no huge presentation here, guys. Just 2 slides, so you guys get a look at what it is we want to look at, and we're just divided these into 2 categories, right? There's the big long anthropometric word, right? That's just your body measurements, right? And we selected 6 of them. That again, a lot of this comes right from the NBA Combine profile, right? So standing reach, right, and wingspan, that comes together for us to be able to assess your length. Right? That's just kind of a big word where are you tall enough and have long enough arms to disrupt a shot and be able to block a shot, right? That would be your vertical reach. along with your jump. But obviously, we want to know just what your body is relative to that. And then wingspan. Do you have a wide enough wingspan you can get your hand, put your hands on basketballs in the lane and disrupt and get deflections and all that stuff? Those are two big measurables that basketball organizations look at. That's your body type. Height, obviously, that's a big one. That goes without saying. Body weight, body composition, right? Body weight, right? Your body mass is just one piece of the puzzle for your body type. We also need to know your body fat, right? At your weight, how much of that is muscle and how much of it is fat. And then we want to get a look at your hand size as well, both length and width, which, believe it or not, scouts look at pretty critically. Your ability to palm a basketball, which, as it relates to the game, right, can factor into whether you turn the ball over or not, right? Maybe it's in the post, maybe it's on the perimeter, but that's a big one. Those are the measurements that we're going to look at. And then the performance testing sequence, you hear that word, that's the activity part of it. We'll get you warmed up. We're going to take two different vertical jumps for you, right? Your standing jump, right? That's the one that everybody knows, right? That's just swing down and get up. And then we're going to give you one what the NBA would call a max jump, where you get to approach the apparatus and jump as high as possible off 1 or 2 feet, whatever your optimal jump strategy is, right? We want to see how high you can get with a running start. The T-test is our assessment for change of direction. That involves a sprint, lateral movement, and a back pedal, right? Basketball is a change of direction sport. We want to know if you can do that well. 3/4 court sprint, that's just going from baseline to the opposite free throw line. And we want to see how fast you are. That's a linear sprint test. And then the medicine ball chest pass is just our way of assessing your upper body strength and power. A chest pass is part of basketball. This is more just our way to see both your current strength level, your upper body power level, and maybe your ability to get stronger, which is a big one, right? We want to be able to project out what you might be able to be in 3 to 4 years. And that's a big part of that. So that's the basketball piece. And then the football / the soccer piece is just a modified version of that. All the same tests, just not as much of them. Height, standing reach, body weight, body comp, vertical jump for sure. We'll do that same T-test for change of direction, because soccer is a multi-directional sport. And then we'll do a linear sprint for that one as well, to see how fast you are in a straight line. So that's the battery of tests, guys. It's not going to take too long. We're not going to bang you over the head with 1,000 different tests. We want a very clean profile that the end goal is to assess what type of athleticism you have. You'll be looked at with respect to your basketball and your soccer skill, right? Can you shoot? Can you handle the ball? Can you pass? Those are real. You need those to play the game. My piece, what I've always been involved in, both in basketball and American football going along, is to assess the athlete. What type of natural athletic ability do you have? Because if you have that and you have a natural ability, there's a lot of coaches in America and all over the world that believe they can teach you the skills of the sport. Some of this athleticism stuff is a little bit natural. Of course, it can be grown, but that is your natural ability. And if you have that, you become a very attractive prospect to all these good coaches that believe they can teach you the actual skills of the sport. And you put those two together, and now all of a sudden you're realizing your dream and playing where you want to on a really high level. So I'll leave it there for now. I'll turn it back over to Munya. I hope I covered most of what you guys maybe were wondering on the assessment side. And when we get to questions, I'm available if you guys have anything more that you need to know.
For sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Jesse, for that. Now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you Rich Gardner. Rich Gardner is going to be heading up the American football / rugby testing component. Rich, how you doing? Greetings to you in Chicago.
Hello, brother. I'm pretty good over here. It's, the sun is out, and I guess that's all I can ask for. My name is Rich Gardner, performance coach out of Chicago. I am co-founder of nonprofit organization Maroon Village, and what we do is specialized training for student athletes. We promote resiliency, and we utilize mindful movements. We incorporate yoga as well as performance training. So to not hit on the same points as Jesse, but what I want to do is kind of highlight my background when it comes to testing. I participated in the 2004 NFL Combine. I had one of the top 40 times. I actually had the best 5-10-5 time in Penn State history, and actually that time still stands today since '99.
Wow.
Saquon Barkley is actually number 2. So
What?
that's interesting, right? I just found that out last year. But so moving forward, you know, I had 4 years in the NFL. And after leaving the NFL, I had a chance to go out to Europe, Germany, and coach and play. And then from there, I started my career as a performance coach. So 10 years into it, you know, learning exercise science, and also most importantly, communication, how to communicate to athletes and how to bridge opportunities for a lot of student athletes. And it's interesting because Munya, we have very similar goals in providing inclusion for student athletes. And that's why I have a nonprofit in Chicago, is to include all student athletes when it comes to sports participation. So that's one thing that I want to bring to the Scout Camp is, yes, I have a background in exercise science, but, you know, more importantly, I'm very focused on, you know, providing opportunities for student athletes. So with that said, the number one thing, and again, I'm gonna hit on what Jesse mentioned, is present yourself. You have to present yourself in a way that market you. All right. So come prepared, speak to coaches, you know, make eye contact with coaches, and, you know, just be confident. Just be confident in everything, and know that your performance, when it comes to performance, you have to, set yourself up so that you can perform your best. And that's the most important piece, and as far as the testing, the 40-yard dash and the movement specific drills are the most important pieces of the football side. The 40-yard dash, of course, it is something that you have to train for. I trained for the 40-yard dash, and it took me about 6 to 8 weeks to complete the training. So again, if you haven't done this, it's okay. Showing up is half the battle. And this camp is designed to kind of get yourself a footing in the right direction as far as assessment, as far as, what is required of you, in respect to performance. Just know that most of this is, most of the skill tests will come from the NFL Combine, with the exception of the bench press. So be prepared to do all of it, with the exception of the bench press, and definitely prepare for the 40-yard dash. That is like the bread and butter when it comes to testing for American football. Now, there's a movement, a specific portion of this, and for the rugby players and American football players, it's all similar. Coaches, specialists like myself, we just look for movement. How well you move. Are you balanced in your movement? How well do you change direction, and how well do you react? So that's another thing. 40-yard dash is your linear speed and reaction drills with the football, backpedaling, coming downhill to catch a football, change the directions. This is all reaction drills. So you will be tested according to those two movements, the linear movement and also reaction movement. And that's about it.
Thanks so much for that introduction, Rich. I can say this to you guys, that when Rich played Penn State, actually when we played, Penn State was one of the best universities in football in the whole country. Without further ado, now I'd like us to go into the soccer and the soccer testing and exactly what's going to happen there.
My name is Coach Adil. I'm from the soccer. I'm head coach and general manager for Worldwide Scholarships. And Yeah, listening to the international scouts, interesting. I mean, exactly what we're looking for, players that are all-rounded, players that are confident in their ability, but also need to be confident off the field as well. Um, we're excited to be having this camp. It's, I think, first of its kind in South Africa, where we're having multi-sports at one venue. Okay, and we are really looking forward to meeting all of the participants. We're looking forward to learning from Rich and from Jesse, because they're coming with a lot of value and experience from the United States. And I think the United States are actually the leaders in sports testing. So guys, I think when we come here, we need to be coming um, with the open mind and coming to learn. Remember, we're going to learn from everybody, and this is opportunity. You're learning from the participants, the players that you're going to come with, the players that you're going to meet there, and we're going to look at you holistically. I mean, we're going to look at you from a point of your talent, number one, because talent is the thing that's going to take you to the next level. We need to see your technique, especially talking from a soccer perspective. Technique is very, very important, but we mustn't also shy away. We're looking for athletic ability in players. We're looking for intelligence in players. So all these things need to be combined to make you a complete player. The scouts from Italy, we've been there recently, myself and Munya, and what they look for are players that they play simple football, players that have good understanding, but players that play with a lot of intensity. Okay, intensity is number one on their radar, and with South African mindset, we need to understand that when they look at us in our drills, just I mean your passing drills, your technical drills, they look at all these aspects of what you can bring to the party. Okay, so in terms of the testing, I think Jesse and Rich are going to wow us and give us the opportunity to see things we've never seen in South Africa before. But Italy being one of the top leagues in the world, the top 5 leagues in the world, the expectation was really high. And getting to Italy, I mean, it was midwinter. You can imagine the weather was against us. But this is the thing, guys. Remember, when it comes to trials and opportunities, we cannot be expecting things to be going our way all the time. When we get to a place, we need to adapt. If the weather is -2 degrees and you're not used to it, you gotta adapt quickly. If it's 38 degrees, like we're going to be at Camp Discovery, the scouts want to see players that can adapt into different situations very, very quickly. Okay, and when we get there, the players need to be able to communicate. I mean, we go to the training facility and 5 South Africans on their own, speaking to themselves. And like Jesse said earlier, it's about making eye contact. It's about meeting people and being confident and going to greet people and being confident in your ability. So your ability will come through your personality sometimes. If you're shy and you're hiding away, and maybe that shyness and hiding away is going to come out on the field. So you need to be able to be confident off the field. So when you get onto the field, you are confident as well. Okay, the drills are really, really high intensity. Okay, so we need to adapt to that now. So we're giving you a thumbs up. Looking for players that are athletic. We're looking for players that got intensity. The passing drills, the rondo drills are really going to be high tempo. So we expect you guys to be understanding the drills, number one, very quickly and executing very quickly. Okay. Remember, we are trialing with other participants. To excel, we need to use everybody around us as well. Okay. And then Italy, we met the head of coaches in the whole of Italy. His name is Paolo Gatti, and just to understand his position, he runs the entire, anything that got to do with coaching in Milan goes through Paolo Gatti. So our contacts in Italy are really, really high profile. We are giving you an opportunity of a lifetime to showcase your ability. Okay, guys? once the boys got for trials, like I said, it was welcoming players in and say, hey, you know what, here we got some South Africans. They got thrown into the deep end, and the boys had to adapt very, very quickly.
Fantastic, Coach. I just want to, for the soccer players, we've got some greetings from Paolo Gatti, who is the president of the Italian Coaches Association and is part of our scouting team, and also the director of the AC Milan Technical Academy. Paolo himself is one of the people that was very responsible for Sandro Tonali, who you may all know as soccer players, just signed for AC Milan a few months ago for 32 million euros. Paolo Gatti, he was a part of the exact same system that we are in collaboration with right now. So I'm going to go ahead now and show you.
Hello, my name is Tyler Brock, and I'm the head men's soccer coach at the University of Northwestern Ohio, located in Lima, Ohio, over in the United States. We've currently been involved with the Worldwide Scholarships Program for about 1.5 years now, and I tell you what, they're just an outstanding program. Munya and his staff are unbelievable. They go out of their way to help the student athletes really try and find a connection over here where they can use their talents, whether it's soccer related, whether it's football related, whether it's track, whether it's music. It really doesn't matter what your talent is. If you have talent, Munya is going to be able to help you find a way to expand that and be able to help you pay for your education in forms of small scholarships, large scholarships, whatever schools might have. What you all need to realize is there's hundreds of schools and universities over here that are looking to spend scholarship money on student athletes, musicianal people with talents, and any form of talent that they have, to be quite honest with you. And the schools are willing to pay for these talents. So, Munya has a lot of contacts. He's a great guy. He goes out of his way to help people. Him and his staff are unbelievable. We actually have one of his student athletes attending our university right now as a freshman. This current quarter, we're looking to actually try and find a couple more if we're blessed enough to do so. That'll actually be our second South African on our program and in our team. But right now we have players from 17 different countries on our men's soccer program. In our university is about 4,800 students. We have over 50 degrees and pre-professional programs for academics. And we have 14 sports programs. So, all those coaches are constantly looking for top-level athletes, and I know that, hey, you need to go contact this guy, Munya, over in the Worldwide Scholarships Program. He's going to be able to find you some quality tennis athletes that you can fill your program with. They're going to go out and do so. So, my advice to you guys is listen to everything that's going on today. Take a lot of notes and feel free to contact Munya. There's so many colleges and universities over here looking for quality student athletes, and he has the contacts to help you all out with that. So I wish you all luck. If anybody needs to get a hold of me, feel free to do so. You can contact me and get my information from Munya himself. A good friend of mine, great guy, and I wish everyone the best of luck in their future endeavors.
Just to give you this very short picture that we have already done, less than 1 year ago, we start our relationship. Munya and the coach bring us some players, good players. Of course, as the coach has already said, it's not so easy to express yourself in such a very short time, and for the first time that we were in contact and on the field in Milan. Anyway, we start last year. Then all this pandemic situation freeze our let's say next future. So now we have to wait, of course, because I know that unlucky you have the same situation in your place, in your country. Here we are, unfortunately, again in the new wave of bad situation with the virus. So now we have to wait to start again. But as soon as possible, we could travel again. We for sure return in South Africa, and for sure we are here waiting for you, waiting for your wonderful talent, wonderful players, and to start also our exchange program of coaching.
Hello to everyone, this is Gianluca Porro, Coach Gianluca Porro from Italy. We are here in Varese to start our practice day with my team, the Unite team of Varese FC. And I'm very happy to come in South Africa next week and I'm very excited and join and discover the talent in South Africa. We hope with Italia Calcio coaching to have a very good job with you, and I hope to see you very, very soon. I'm so excited for this experience. Hello to everyone and see you very, very, very soon. Ciao.
I would like to go ahead and start taking some questions. I think everybody is able to write their questions. Let me see what questions we've got here. So one question, this is for soccer. So Coach Adil, Toby is asking, is off the ball movement going to be implemented for soccer? I can answer that question. Definitely off the ball movement will be in the testing and even in the drills that you do in the soccer. So the answer to that question is yes. Then we've got Zamantulu. Can you participate in both soccer and basketball? That's a very difficult one, Zama, because you know, we are very specific right now in terms of making sure we want you to be kind of focused on the sport right now that you're going to be wanting us to assess you in. So jumping from sport to sport, unless you're 7 foot tall, we may say stay with the soccer versus the basketball. But what I would like you to do is go ahead and send us at Scoutcamp and I'm going to put that here for everyone. Send us a video at scoutcamp@worldwidescholarships.com, Zama. Send us if you've got videos of you playing both. Let's see, because maybe what we can do is we'll help you to determine which sport we think you actually need to be looking at. I don't know, Jesse, can you give a comment there? Let me get to another question while Jesse's getting unmuted. What is this? Will we be divided in accordance to our age group? This is Nkateko. Yes, Nkateko, there will be, some of the testing can be done together in your same age groups. But we are definitely going to look at your age when looking at what kind of ability you will be showing everybody, okay? Then Leah says, hi, Coach. For soccer, are these the same programs for ladies that will be tested? Absolutely, Leah. The sport of soccer around the world is you know, for girls and for boys. So definitely the testing as well will be done the same, as well as drills. So I hope that answers your question. Will there be a stop? Okay, you're back. Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, it wasn't allowing me to unmute there for a second. Okay. So with respect to the crossover between sports, again, not knowing all the details of the schedule with respect to the skill component, the tests that we put together from a 3-sport perspective will give us a very good indication, again, of your athletic ability. Multi-directional quickness, for example, right? That's one that crosses over to all 3 sports. If you're quick and you can change direction, you show your reactive ability in any one of those tests, all of the scouts there that are watching, and even maybe some of the people that are just looking at the data and the numbers and everything, if they see that you're quick and you can change direction, they might think that even though you tested with the basketball group, that maybe you might be a good fit for soccer. And those conversations could come up based on those tests. So the vertical explosiveness, right? A vertical jump ability. If you measure a big time vertical jump, well, lower body power is one that transfers to all 3 of those sports. So I think my message is, if you're locked into the soccer group, but you're also a basketball player, don't be so worried that the people won't notice you potentially as a basketball player, right? Because one of the things we want to discover, at least through the performance testing, is just natural athletic ability. And we might be able to see if you were capable of crossing over to another sport. So I hope that answers that question.
Adil, do you have anything to add there?
So with regards to drills, all right. So we got passing drills. Passing drills with movement on and off the ball. We've got rondo exercises where small-sided games. We're going to see your football intelligence or your decision making. So those are the main things. We're going to have finishing exercises, shooting. We're going to have crossing. So I mean, it's vast. I mean, there's so many different aspects that we're going to cover, and we're going to see players holistically. I mean, we cannot have players when we're looking at players for soccer. We're looking at players that are be able to be coachable. Number one, that can play different positions. You understand? From a soccer perspective, the drills will be technique, tactical, and also very much game related as well.
Okay, so next question on soccer there, Coach. So you can stay up on what's happening. Will we play 11 versus 11 for soccer?
Okay.
That's from Teko.
Okay, that we'll decide that on the camp, because what happens is when we're scouting, we want to see players touching the ball a lot. And in our opinion and in our experience, when we play small-sided games, 7 against 7, 8v8, we get players to touch the ball a lot more, and we get to see them in action more. And sometimes when we play 11v11, players become isolated. So yes, maybe at some stage we'll pick the best players and play 11v11 game. But those decisions we could make at the camp. Okay, so yeah, watch it. We'll see how it goes.
I'll hop back in here. I did see one question here directed towards me from, I'm sorry, I apologize if I get this name wrong, Wandil Jean-Paul. The question is, how important is being a positive and immaculate player off the court in comparison to being a good basketball player on the court? That's a great question. It really is. And what I'll tell you, I'll start by saying that there are many, many, many examples of talented, very talented athletes that don't get scholarship offers and don't get opportunities to play professional basketball because they made poor decisions and they don't portray themselves well in interviews, and maybe they have a history of maybe getting in trouble or poor grades or anything. All of those things, those character traits, all of those things matter to your whole profile. There's a lot of money invested both on the NCAA side with offering a scholarship and in professional sports. A lot of money that goes into bringing athletes on board. And teams are very concerned that they want to bring what they call high character guys into these programs, right? Of course, you need to play basketball well. That's inevitably what you're going to have to do on the court. But if you don't have the character profile that fits in well with the team, and that people are worried that you're going to get in trouble or that you're not going to represent the university or the logo of the team well, there's plenty of other guys that they can look to bring into the organization. So while I'll say 1A is being a good basketball player with respect to this one question, a very close 1B is being that positive and immaculate player off the court, right? They are both very important when people are evaluating whether they want to bring you on board or not. So both of them matter.
Fantastic. Tell us more on the COVID-19 regulations, testing, and spectators. Okay, Patrick. So Patrick, regarding the COVID-19 protocols, I'll start with our scouts. All scouts need to have had a COVID-19 test 72 hours before they arrive in South Africa. So they'll be clean or unclean, and we'll know about that and tell you all before they get here. And then obviously at the camp, there'll be sanitizing happening, and we will not be going over the amount of people that are specified and within the rules of South Africa right now in terms of each of the sporting codes. Okay. what are the coaches? I think we've answered this. Positive. Okay. How many players are going to be scouted for soccer? Coach Adil, do you want to jump in there? So I think I can also give some answers there. Guys, opportunity is based on how good you are. There may be 0 people scouted if there's 0 talent, but there may be 100 people scouted if there's 100 talented people, and that's reality. This is not a sweetie shop where you walk in and you know, sweets for all for free on Halloween day. This is real stuff. You know, if you do not prove yourself and if you do not participate at the level that you need to, you will not be selected for any opportunities. But if you do, believe me, right now you've got everyone in every sport that you're in that is able to assist you to get to the next level. Okay.
Can I come in there, Munya? Okay, absolutely. I think exactly what Mr. Munya has said now is that at the end of the day, the reality is that you need to perform. We cannot guarantee anybody that they will be scouted at this camp, but we can guarantee you an amazing opportunity to get scouted. So understand that what I'm saying. So you need to come in there with your A game. We cannot tell the scouts, I mean, how good you are. You need to come and prove yourself. So that the answer is no. We can't guarantee you anybody to get scouted. The academy is there. If you're good enough for us to say that join the academy and we see that you're coachable, we'll invite you to trial with the academy as well.
Fantastic. In basketball, is Shine and Tiamo. The question for basketball is, and maybe you can answer this, Jesse, if they're still muted. The guy's child, is it Chilin? I hope I said your name correctly. Says, will we play scrimmage basketball for the coaches to see our ability in game situations, or will it only be 5 versus 5 drills to see our ability?
We will also play scrimmages after testing, and we'll do a couple of drills as well. So it's not just testing, it's testing, drills, and scrimmages as well.
Fantastic. Again, in basketball, stay on there, please, Emmanuel. In basketball, this is Matthew Jacobs asking a question. He says, in basketball, we know that the physical aspect is important, but also basketball IQ and in-game situations. So will we be doing ball drills and also have scrimmages?
Yes, I think that was answered in my first question. So we will do a couple of ball drills to test what you can do, obviously, in a normal drill situation with no pressure, and then put that into a game situation to see how you adapt when there's pressure, because everybody can do well when it's just a normal drill. And then we want to see that now being implemented in a game situation. So it will be tested.
Another question from the Zimbabwean Wellington Tajinga. He says, will we be allowed to use the courts for extra practice after each day of testing for basketball specifically?
Well, yes, I think we will be able to. Obviously, that's depending on the overall program of the camp. If you have a leadership or program at that moment, or you have any other, or you have any activity at that moment, you won't be able to. But should it be outside of any any scheduled time for anything, then you're more than welcome to use the courts.
Okay, and then here another question here. I heard, and this is for soccer. So Coach Adil, are you unmuted there? You need to be unmuted. This is a question. It's a very difficult one as well. Diala Gong, I believe, is from another country outside of South Africa. He says, I heard the coach talking about 5 South Africans that traveled to Italy. And he says with them, so is this only strictly for South Africans? So international.
Definitely not. I mean, we've got opportunities for the entire continent. So yes, I mean, the opportunities are there for everyone. We're not restricting it. We're not closing our borders to anyone outside South Africa.
Okay, so here's a question from Valicia Vermeulen. She says, is it compulsory to study if you are scouted? So Valicia, the answer to that question is not necessarily, because we are representing a multitude of opportunities right now. And the opportunities are both study, but also some are professional, some are academy, some are even high school. So if your child or if you are at a level where we believe that you are at a professional level, then it becomes you looking for a job in sports. If not, then we may, as a company, recommend that you go the educational route. Does anyone see any other questions there? I see a question on, I just want to know. So any questions regarding, so this is Usuario do Zoom. I don't know who Usuario. If you go to the website, you should be able to see all the, under registrations, you should be able to see all the information regarding payments, etc. So Vuyo says, afternoon, sir, with football, will we be able to go overseas as in AC Milan Academy and learn there too? Or is this the tour just learning exposition? I think he means like an entertainment tour. So I'll throw that to you, Coach Adil.
Okay, so there's different opportunities, guys. I mean, really, to ask a question like that is difficult. I mean, first we have to see your ability. If you're a player that we think that can go on a professional trial, we'll send you on a professional trial.
So on basketball, Coach Jesse, if you can do the same, let's stay unmuted so that we can answer the questions. So on the basketball side, the question for Emmanuel is, will there be opportunities for possible BNL trials too?
Well, the BNL season for this year has already started. It's underway. So that is out of the question for this year. But moving forward, definitely.
Okay. Fabulous. Another question for basketball.
Sorry, if I can just add on to that. Although the BNL season may have started, it might be worthwhile to still get you guys acquainted with some BNL teams, as they'll be going into the BAL qualifiers for next year. So that can still happen.
Okay. And then there's another question for basketball. For basketball, will we be able to choose our positions, or will we be put to play different positions regarding on height and size?
So the last thing we want to do is restrict any players to a certain position. At the same time, we'll advise you on what positions will be best for you as a player. So you can't, for example, be a 6-foot player and then say you want to play center, because even though you try, I mean, it's not going to get you very far. So then in that regard, we might move you to like a point guard or a shooting guard.
Okay. Then for me, this is from Wellington. He says, you mentioned that we can go the educational route. So depending on our age, is it possible to be transferred to a new high school to create a better chance to acquire that opportunity? Wellington, the answer is yes. We have high school as well as university, as well as junior college opportunities for all participants. So yes, the answer is yes. You would be able to go on other opportunities as well, as high school as well. So what you guys need to understand is in South Africa right now, where there is sports which are like physical contact type sports, we are not allowed to have physical type contact sports happening right now based on the COVID regulations. If they do change, we will advise on that. So a lot of the testing, especially for American football, will be you doing the tests and pretty much putting down a result. Bench press, as Rich said, will not be done because most of you are youngsters, and we don't expect that at this age you should be able to bench press 225 pounds, which is the standardized testing for strength. So what will be happening, and I believe, Jesse, you can jump in here, will be a medicine ball type test where they do something along those lines.
Yeah, that's correct. That specific test was selected because, again, just to give some type of indication of upper body strength and power, primarily with safety in mind. Of course, the bench press test is popular first and foremost in American football. The NBA Combine does a bench press test as well with less weight. From a safety standpoint, it does not make sense to put all of you guys under a bench press bar and put you. We don't need to. So a secondary test was selected, this medicine ball chest pass, which we can obviously assess directly your upper body power and indirectly assess your upper body strength. And that's one that's easily learned, that everybody would know how to do, and gives us a level of comfort with respect to the safety aspect of it. So we still will be able to assess your upper body just with that test versus the bench press.
I don't know, Jesse, if you got any closing comments?
Nothing directly related to the testing. I think the physical part, I think we covered a lot here, and I hope we answered most questions in some way. Just to reiterate, just looking forward to getting out there and getting to see everyone and meet everyone directly and have a great event.
Fantastic. Coach Adil, any closing?
Yeah, looking forward to seeing all you guys at the camp, and waiting to see if we can unearth some talent.
Shine and Tiamo from the basketball.
Well, from outside, it's pretty much the same things the other coaches have said. Just keep working hard and don't, so that when you come next week, you're ready to give your best and give yourself the best opportunity possible. But I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. I think from my perspective, guys, it's a pleasure to be able to see how many people want to chase their dreams, and it's not something we take lightly as worldwide scholarships to actually stand in the gap between you and getting an opportunity for your life. There's so many international partners and players that are involved here. And I thank all of the facilitators, consultants, partners, from Rich all the way to Jesse, just for being a part of what this is all about. And we are thankful that you're a part of the journey to help us and to help Africa's talent get to the next level, and to Paolo and his team as well in Italy with football, with soccer. Let me say soccer, because we are really excited to see what's going to happen. We will send via the WhatsApp group. Please put the link on here, Jordan, the link for people to join that WhatsApp group if they're not on the WhatsApp group, so that we can have one communication channel, because like I said to you, it's very difficult for us to be able to communicate with all of you one-on-one. Okay, so everyone have a good day. Thank you so much for making time. Good luck to you. See you very, very soon at WWS Scoutcamp 2020.